If you're new to this channel, my name's Paul Reed and I'm a photographer. Being a photographer is more popular now than it's ever been, but during this digital evolution, most photographers never see their images on anything other than a small screen. I'm telling you that printing your photography is essential. Photos capture cherished moments, emotions and life's beauty. They deserve to be held, displayed and shared. Printing allows us to preserve memories for future generations. Tangible photos evoke a sense of nostalgia and connection that digital images just cannot replicate. Social media such as Instagram focuses on displaying images in a smaller format to accommodate the mobile phone interface. However, while this format allows quick browsing and easy scrolling, it limits the overall impact and appreciation of the photograph. Printing our photography allows us to experience the full detail and depth that's totally lost when viewing images on a small screen. It provides a tangible, immersive way to truly appreciate and showcase the artistry and intent behind our photographs.
Where are you?
RJ Printlab. So I'm here today, as promised, at RJ Printlab to get Roberto to do a very special print to me. So anybody that follows my journey on this channel will already know that I'm working towards a series to exhibit of platinum palladium prints. When I first started thinking about doing an exhibition, one of the things that was really important to me was that whenever somebody would purchase a print, that it would be something that would last, something that could be handed down from generation to generation. The image that we're printing today is called Metalhead, and it's an image that I absolutely love. It's quite a recent image that I took, but this has become like a really special image to me, and there is no other method that I would choose to print other than platinum palladium for this print. I wanted something that was unique, and because these are all handmade, then every print is unique. Even if there's editions of a print, each one is slightly different, so no two are ever the same. But apart from all of that, there's no denying the beauty of platinum palladium prints. When I first purchased my Leica Q2 Monochrom, I chose that camera specifically because I wanted the best monochrome camera that I could get. But then what I started to look for was the best printing process where I could print these monochrome prints to their full potential. Looking online and looking at various videos, I discovered the platinum palladium process. So I started to look for a lab in the UK somewhere, and I came across RJ Printlab. After talking to Roberto for a while, it was clear that this was going to be the place where I was going to start my printing. I've tried a number of printing processes, inkjet, C-type and silver gelatin, but platinum palladium just seems to blow them all away in tonality.
It's always a pleasure to have Paul back at RJ Printlab. I really enjoy printing for Paul. I think if you don't know this already, the platinum palladium process is a contact process, which means I actually have to make a negative in order to print, and the negative has to be the same size as the final print. I do need to have a decent file for me to make a good negative, and Paul is quite good at doing this. One of the things I do the very first time you send me a file is I check it. I will bring up some levels, and I will usually check to see where your shadows and your highlights are. I want to see where you have detail in your shadows and highlights, and I want to make sure that those shadows and highlights are going to be represented in the final print. If I'm going to be doing a large print like a 20 by 24, which is what we will be doing today, first thing I do is I do a test print. Test print will usually have a scale where it tells me where your shadows are going to be, where your highlights are going to be, and this also helps us to check if we're happy with it. It is at that point where we can actually make some changes. So one of the biggest challenges we always have is that everyone's monitors are always different. You know, some people work on a laptop, some people work on a calibrated monitor, some people work on an iMac, and the only way to actually check your calibration is with the densitometer that's inside Photoshop. That will tell you where your 10% should be, where your 50% should be, where your 70% would be, and so on.
somebody made a mistake, and it wasn't Roberto.
He made a mistake on his file, and yes, that is quite evident when you see this. He tried to do a bit of dodging here, and it wasn't that evident on the screen. However, if you look carefully, it is evident, which just goes to show you your screens have a light behind them, so you're actually looking at an image with light behind it. You're looking at an image with light in front. It is a difference. Don't ever trust your screens. The only thing you can trust is your densitometer reading in your Photoshop, okay? So if we look at this test print, we'll look at the values. This should correspond to what Photoshop is showing us on the information window here. So on the top of the helmet, if I put the drop here, it's telling us it's at 27%. So in theory, that should be around here, okay? On the bottom of the helmet, it's telling it is about almost 80%, so this should be around here. So as long as you're happy with that, we don't need to do any more adjustments, if that makes sense. So this way, whether your monitor is calibrated or you're working on a laptop, it makes no difference, because you know that what you want is what you're gonna get on the print. Went back to the original file, and this is what we got, and we're now happy with these values here. Paul is happy with the values, so we will now go ahead and coat a large sheet of paper, expose, and develop.
So let us not be limited by the constraints of digital platforms and embrace the power of printing to fully enjoy and share our visual narrative.